all I gotta say about that.
I'm Engineer Dave. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe. For more content in between episodes, check out ZadyLeeTV on Instagram. I feel my IQ increasing already. Previously on ZadyLeeTV.
Chancellor Khan has called it quits.
Chancellor Khan, the acting ruler and lawmaker of ZadyLeeTV, resigned.
Roll the clip.
Time has come to relinquish my power.
However, before the Chancellor stepped down, he left us a successor, none other than Sir Osiris Shepherd, whom you'll meet today. On the Carbon 6 channel, you are introduced to Alex.
My name is Alex.
Right, Alex has his very own reality show. There are 2 other shows on the Carbon 6 channel. One-on-One with Martin King, which is a talk show that dives into the minds of its guests. The guests include Carl Broker, President Maldonado de la Cruz, Z-Duke, and George Washington. Third, but certainly not least, is our game show, the Zady Lee Squares, which you'll see in this episode. Lastly, on ZadyMax 24, you saw George Washington debut his first film, Message to the Soul. As you all know by now, Zady Lee has deemed George Washington an artistic genius. That's why everything we see on ZadyMax 24 is created by George Washington himself. He is the director, the actor, the cinematographer. He does the editing, special effects. He even writes the scores. George Washington has so much control over his channel that he breaks through the screen to show you his films. Well, that does it for me. Enjoy the show.
My fellow citizens, as I'm sure you are all aware by now, Chancellor Khan is no longer the leader and lawmaker of ZadyLeeTV. It is time for a new chapter in our lives. Chancellor Khan's chapter has led us to pain, suffering, jealousy, and hate. The problem has been identified. We, as a society, have a disease. These numbers are a warning. Our citizens' level of awareness is almost non-existent. Please turn your attention to the core issue. 98% of citizens focus more on the exterior rather than the interior. The time for change is now. We can no longer focus on treating the symptoms of our disease. We must begin to treat the disease itself, the human being. Therefore, my first act as ruler of ZadyLeeTV, I will be instituting the Human Soul Protection Act. This act will have a set of laws that must be obeyed. These laws will supersede every law that exists today. The government and all assets will be in charge of enforcing these laws without prejudice. The Human Soul Protection Act was created for the protection of all souls living inside us today. I will no longer sit by and watch my fellow citizens torture themselves. When you disturb your soul, you are committing the greatest crime of all. You are punishing yourself. You are committing unconscious suicide.
The Human Soul Protection Act will have a total of 7 laws. Each month, one of these laws will be released to the public. Law number 1. Every person who unlawfully and maliciously deprives a human soul of peace and harmony is guilty of committing unconscious suicide.
unconscious suicide is punishable by imprisonment into a psychiatric hospital for the term of life unless the patient is cured. My fellow citizens, we have a long journey ahead of us. But rest assured, once our journey is complete, we will be better off than we are today. Thank you for your time, and God bless every citizen of ZadyLeeTV.
That was earlier today. Since that speech, we have been getting multiple reports of abductions being reported throughout ZadyLeeTV. To tell you more about it, we have our man in the field. Robert, what's going on here?
Thank you, Carl. Well, as you can see behind us, the crime scene is still blocked off. Earlier today, around 4 o'clock, the suspect, a middle-aged man in his late 30s, was allegedly yelling and screaming into his My apologies, Carl. The man was screaming and yelling into his phone when the abduction took place in broad daylight. It was reported that 2 government agents tasered and dragged the subject into an unmarked vehicle. His charge? Violating the Human Soul Protection Act, guilty of committing unconscious suicide. There were many eyewitnesses, Carl. However, only one of them agreed to speak to us.
I was like sitting right over there having a stogie, and this dude is like walking down, right? And he's like screaming and yelling on the phone, man. It was crazy. You could totally tell he was angry, man. He's gonna pop a blood vessel or something, dude. So these 2 guys just jumped out of the corner and snatched him up. Took him to their car, man. It was insane, dude. Never seen anything like that before. It was like they were taking out the trash, man.
Really? Is that what we're gonna do now? Abduct citizens off the streets? No trial, no defense. You break the law and you're punished instantly. That's the biggest load of
One of these stars is sitting in the secret square, and the contestant who picks it first could win a trip around the world. Which star is it? From Zady Lee Network 13, lead anchor Carl Broker. Reality show superstar Alex.
My name is Alex.
Zady Lee hip hop star Z-Duke. 24-time award-winning talk show host Martin King. From the show Freed and Freed, Joseph Freed. Political advocate, President Maldonado de la Cruz. Zady Lee wrestling champion, Zacho Man.
Ooh, yeah.
The other half of Freed and Freed, Thomas Freed. Or the artistic genius, Mr. George Washington. All in the Zady Lee Square. And the master of the Zady Lee Squares, Gene Hackman.
Welcome to the Zady Lee Squares, everyone. How you doing, stars?
Great.
I'm sure all of you noticed by now, Carl Broker is not here tonight. We have intentionally left his square open in honor of him. He was arrested last night in the middle of his broadcast.
Oh, Dios mío.
President Maldonado de la Cruz. Do you have something to add?
Yes, in fact I do, Gene. Sir Osiris Shepherd is doing a great injustice to us all. This is not the way, and President Maldonado de la Cruz will not stand for this. ¿Entiendes, Méndez? O te explico, Federico.
Looks like not everyone agrees with Sir Osiris Shepherd. Boy, we have a lot of celebrities here tonight. George Washington, everyone. Mr. Washington's film Raw Anger debuts tonight on ZadyMax 24. George is truly an artistic genius. George, how do you do what you do? There's no one that helps you on the film set. You don't even have grips or electricians. How do you do it?
Well, you know, Gene, I've sought out to be a creator my entire life, and it wasn't until I had a direct connection to the source that made all this possible. And sure, my name is plastered all over my films, but all credit truly goes to the creator, the architect of the universe, the one that makes all of this possible.
Yeah. I don't think any of us understand what that means. But we'll be back after these messages from our sponsor. Do you get angry? Can you feel your heart rate speed up? Are you a victim of society? A victim of its supposed treatments? The treatments that lead to a loss of life instead of a cure. Here, at the house of the commonly insane, we've got the cure. We put our patients through vigorous exercises to cure them of this horrible, horrible disease. Once the mind is pushed beyond the limits of the physical form, it becomes more and more difficult to feel annoyance, displeasure, and hostility. Let us show you what we mean. Annoyance is cured by working out the cingulate cortex. Are you annoyed, Carl? Are you mad?
No!
Are you angry? What about now?
No!
What about now?
No!
Be honest.
If you hit me one more time!
Next, we treat displeasure by programming the orbitofrontal cortex.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it right now! Please! Please stop it! Oh my god! It's horrible! It's terrible! Stop it! Stop it!
Once the patient is ready, we initiate the final stage of the treatment, hostility. If the mind thinks the body is in danger, anger will be triggered. Therefore, the only solution is to eliminate the feeling of fear. And now our patient is cured. Kids, don't try these treatments at home. We are trained professionals.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong answer. In fact, sugar has been scientifically proven to be more addictive than cocaine. Who knew? Steve, do you want to take the center square for the win?
George Washington for the win.
All right, George, here's your question. Who said this famous quote? You will not be punished for your anger, but you will be punished by your anger. Was it A, Jesus of Nazareth, B, Muhammad the Prophet, or C, Buddha?
This question is a bit ironic, eh? You know, I've done a lot of studying for my role in Raw Anger, and I studied various religions. So I believe I know this answer. It's C, the Buddha.
What do you think, Steve? You gonna agree with him?
He looks pretty confident. I'm gonna go ahead and agree with him.
I would too. Circle gets the square!
Do you know who I am? Don't shake your head. This is not a valid form of communication. Blink your eyes. Once for yes, twice for no. Let's try this again.
Do you know who I am? I am the result of your actions. Everything you have done has led you to this moment. Now, the reason why we are here. One final question. Once something has been done, can it be undone? I'm sorry, my friend. You must answer this question yourself. I cannot do it for you. Don't shake your head! You're right. It can be undone. It can be undone with love. However, in this particular situation, you have not given love. Therefore, you cannot get it back. Sweet dreams, Mr. Sol Kaepernick.
Sweet dreams, Mr. Coyote Gunslinger.
Zady,